Everyone is suddenly selling you an AI employee, an AI receptionist, an AI salesperson, an AI marketer, an AI content team, an AI developer. An entire AI workforce that apparently it never sleeps, never complains, and it costs less than a Netflix subscription. Now, I understand why business owners, we want to believe it, right? Employees are expensive, hiring is slow, training is frustrating, people leave, work gets dropped, and the owner, we usually end up just cleaning up the mess. So when someone promises you an employee that works 24 hours a day, responds instantly, and costs $50 a month, well, that might be an incredibly attractive offer. But there's one problem. Most of what's being sold is not an AI employee, is not an employee. It's just a collection of tasks that work once in a controlled demonstration, and there's a massive difference between completing a task and owning a business outcome. Today, I want to show you what AI creators leave out, why most businesses are not ready for an AI workforce, and how to tell whether your company should actually deploy one. All the AI creators are describing some version of the same idea, which is giving an AI agent instructions, connecting it to your software, and then it can perform work that previously required an employee. And to be fair, that part is real. I use it every single day. AI agents can answer questions, draft emails, qualify leads, schedule appointments, research prospects, produce reports, generate content, update software, write code, route information, and take actions inside of connected systems. I build and use these systems myself and for other clients. So I just want to be clear in saying this is not an argument that AI agents are fake or useless. The problem is the word employee. Because an employee is not simply a collection of outputs. What an employee actually provides, a good employee does at least 5 things that disappear from most AI demonstrations. First, they understand context. Second, they recognize exceptions. And third, they make judgment calls. Fourth, they adapt when the process changes. And fifth, well, somebody can actually hold them accountable for whatever result they come up with. And the last one, it matters more than people realize. An employee can be trained, corrected, supervised, promoted, disciplined, or even removed, right? They exist inside of this management structure we've developed. They understand, at least theoretically, who they report to, what authority they have, and when they need to ask for help. But an AI agent does not own the outcome. It cannot be accountable. It cannot be fired in any meaningful sense. It does not absorb the financial or reputational consequences of a bad decision. The business does, and more specifically, the owner does. So when someone sells you an AI employee, the first question should not be, what tasks can it perform? The first question should instead be, who owns the outcome when this thing is wrong, right? If there is no clear answer, you do not have an employee, you have an unowned process with permissions. So the demo versus business problem is where most AI demos become misleading because a demo shows the happy path. A lead fills out the form, the agent responds, it asks 3 questions that the lead answers perfectly. The calendar already has availability, the appointment, it gets booked perfectly, and everyone celebrates. But a real business does not operate entirely on the happy path. What happens when a customer asks for a price that the agent is not authorized to provide? Or lives outside the service area. Maybe they have an immediate emergency, or they give incomplete information. Maybe a person needs to reschedule for the 3rd time, or they're already an angry customer. What happens if they threaten legal action or want to speak to a specific employee? Has a situation that doesn't match the workflow that the AI agent, and they just tell the system, the AI agents, to stop contacting them. These are all problems that need to be handled. The booking demo is easy, but the exceptions, that's where the real business lies. And the more authority that you give an AI agent, the more expensive its exceptions become. If it can only draft an email, the risk is relatively small. If it can send the email, update the CRM, change the schedule, quote the customer, issue a refund, or speak publicly as the owner, the consequences are becoming completely different. Automation does not eliminate management. It changes what needs to be managed. The latest Federal Reserve report on employer firms gives us a useful reality check. In that survey, 46% of employer firms said they were using AI, but among the firms using it, only 7% said AI is fully integrated into the business. And how true is that even? Most were really just experimenting or only partially integrated. And here's the part that matters for the AI employee narrative. 77% of AI firms reported no change in labor costs, but 71% reported increased productivity. That does not look like companies replacing entire teams with $50 AI employees. It looks like companies using AI to increase the capacity of the people and processes they already have in place. Now, this was a self-reported business survey, not a perfect census of every company in America, but it points towards a much more realistic near-term opportunity. AI is currently better at expanding capacity than replacing accountability. It helps the same team to respond faster, process more work, produce first drafts, find information, reduce administrative load, improve consistency, and spend more time on the higher value decisions. That is still enormously valuable. It just does not sound as exciting as firing everyone and replacing them with an army of AI agents. The wrong unit of automation, the phrase AI employee, also causes owners to automate the wrong thing. They begin with a job title and they ask, how do I replace my receptionist? How do I replace my marketer? How do I replace my salesperson? How do I replace my assistant? But a job, it's not just one process, right? It's a collection of predictable tasks, unpredictable tasks, decisions, relationships, exceptions, institutional knowledge, and accountability. Trying to automate an entire job at once, it forces the AI to handle high variance work before the business has even built in the necessary controls. The better question is, which specific workflow inside this role is expensive, measurable, and predictable enough to improve? Do not start by replacing the receptionist. Start with acknowledging new inquiries and collecting basic information, or offering valid appointment times automatically and sending reminders automatically, categorizing routine requests and escalating everything else to the actual person. Do not start by replacing the marketer. Start with transcribing the owner's expertise and identifying useful clips, drafting content, adapting formats, organizing an approval queue, and measuring what generates qualified interest versus just bad views. Do not start by replacing the developer. Start with maybe building one internal dashboard, connecting two systems, or automating a report, creating a small interface, or extending an existing tool, or just getting out of those SaaS subscriptions. The correct unit of automation is not the employee, it is the workflow. The AI employee readiness test. So before you deploy anything marketed as an AI employee, I want you to answer these 6 questions. 1, can you define the outcome without mentioning AI? Using AI agent for leads is not an outcome. Respond to every qualified lead within 2 minutes and either book an appointment or route the conversation to a person is an outcome. If you cannot define the result, you cannot determine whether the agent succeeded. 2, is the current workflow stable? If 5 employees perform the process 5 different ways, adding an agent will not create order. It will automate inconsistency. Before automating, determine what starts the process, what information is required, which rules apply, what action should happen, and what counts as actually complete. 3, does the system have reliable information? Because an agent can only act on the information it receives. If your CRM is incomplete, or your calendar is inaccurate, your pricing rules are undocumented, or your offers constantly change, the agent will act confidently on bad context. Garbage in, garbage out. Number 4, are the permissions narrow enough? What can the agent read, create, change, send, delete, promise, approve? An agent should begin with the minimum authority required to complete the narrow workflow. More permission is not automatically more useful, but it is more risk. Number 5, are the exceptions and escalation rules used defined? When should it stop? When should it ask a person? Who receives the escalation? How quickly must that person respond? And if the agent encounters a situation it does not understand, keep trying is not going to be an acceptable policy. Number 6, is one person accountable for the AI's performance? Someone must own output quality, errors, customer complaints, integration failures, prompt or policy changes, performance reviews, and worst comes to worst, the decision to keep, modify, or shut down the AI agent. If everyone assumes the agent is someone else's responsibility, it will eventually become the owner's problem. So how do you score readiness? If you can answer 5 or 6 of those questions clearly, you may have a strong candidate for an agent-assisted workflow. If you can answer 3 or 4, maybe start with a supervised pilot. Let the AI prepare or do some recommended actions, but require human approval. If you can answer 0, 1, or 2, do not buy another agent yet. Fix the process first, because adding AI to an undefined process does not create an AI employee. It creates faster confusion. The problem is not that AI agents are incapable. They are becoming more and more capable remarkably quickly. The problem is that creators and software companies often compare the cost of an agent with the salary of an employee, while quietly ignoring the management, integration, exceptions, data quality, quality assurance, the security, the staff adoption, the customer trust, and the accountability layer. They might show you the wage, but they do not show you the operating system that's required around it, right? So this doesn't mean that you should just wait. That's not why I'm here. It means you should start smaller and more intelligently. Choose one workflow, give it one measurable outcome, limit its authority, define the exceptions, assign a human owner, and expand only after it consistently passes the acceptance test. The future probably does include companies where humans manage large fleets of agents. Even Microsoft's own vision describes AI-operated but human-led businesses with people setting dictation and resolving exceptions, but most businesses, they're just not there yet. And pretending an agent is an employee before building the surrounding management system is how owners turn an impressive demo into an expensive liability. So no, I don't think most businesses are ready to hire an AI employee, but I do think all businesses are ready to automate a narrow, repetitive workflow under human supervision. Those are not the same thing. And the next question is, should you buy an AI tool, build something specifically for your business, hire another person, or do nothing at all? Well, that's what I'm breaking down in the next video. I'll take one common business workflow, we'll run the actual decision process, compare the economics and risks, and give you a clear verdict. Click the video on screen, and I'll see you in the next one.